They raised him under their roof, but never once called him their own. And the night they tried to throw him out, everything they believed about power shattered. The Blackwood estate always smelled of polished wood and old paper, like secrets pressed between the pages of forgotten wills. The grandfather clock in the hallway ticked with quiet authority, marking time as if it, too, was judging everyone inside. Oliver stood near the staircase, hands clasped, posture straight, trained to be invisible. Actually, he had learned that early. Smile when spoken to, disappear when not. And yet, across the room, the Blackwood family laughed, not with him, but at him. Well, Edward Blackwood muttered, swirling his drink. Some people are simply charity cases that outstay their welcome. A soft chuckle followed. Not loud, just enough to sting. And then, believe it or not, it got worse. Dinner that night felt colder than usual. The silverware clinked like distant warnings, and the chandeliers cast long, unforgiving shadows. Clara Blackwood leaned back in her chair, eyes narrowing slightly. "We've done enough," she said, her tone smooth but sharp underneath. "You're 21 now. Time to find your own way." Oliver blinked once, slowly. Well, as it turns out, he almost spoke, but stopped himself. Because what was there to say? That he had given them loyalty? That he had called them family in his own quiet way? Instead, he simply nodded. The kind of nod people give when they already know they were never truly wanted. The wind outside howled against the tall windows at night, as if the house itself was uneasy. Oliver packed his small suitcase in silence. A few shirts, a worn notebook, and a photograph he wasn't even in. Just a family he had once hoped to belong to. And then footsteps echoed down the corridor. Slow, deliberate, the door creaked open. Mr. Oliver Blackwood. Came a firm voice. It was a family lawyer, Mr. Hastings, a man who smelled faintly of leather files and ink, his presence always carrying a certain weight. Edward frowned. "What is this about?" Hastings adjusted his glasses. "Actually, I believe there has been a grave misunderstanding. The will, your father's will, has been activated." Silence fell, thick, suffocating. "You see," Hastings continued, his voice steady, "the entire Blackwood inheritance, the estate, the holdings, the accounts, were legally assigned to Oliver." A pause, long enough for the clock to tick 3 times. Clara laughed. "That's absurd." But Hastings didn't smile. "Well, as it turns out, Oliver was never just adopted out of kindness. Your father discovered something years ago. Documents, bloodlines, confirmations. Oliver is his only biological son." The room shifted. Not physically, but something inside it cracked. Edward's glass slipped from his hand, shattering on the marble floor. Oliver didn't move. Not at first. And then, slowly, he looked up, not with anger, not even with triumph, just clarity. And then, believe it or not, the power changed hands without a single raised voice. Within days, Edward and Clara were asked to leave the estate, politely, legally, completely. Their accounts frozen. Their names removed from every controlling document. Oliver signed the papers with steady hands, though the faint smell of that same old paper lingered, as if reminding him where it all began. But here's the part that made people whisper. He didn't destroy them. Not entirely. He left them one small property on the outskirts, enough to survive, but nowhere near the life they once mocked him from. "Why?" Hastings asked quietly. Oliver paused just for a second. "Well, I suppose," he said softly, "I learned something from them." The Blackwood mansion remained standing, grand, silent, and just a little colder than before. And somewhere in its halls, the clock kept ticking, as if still deciding whether justice had truly been served or merely reshaped. So tell me, when truth finally rises, does it bring justice or just a different kind of power? And if you were in his place, would you have shown mercy or finished the story differently?